Hello. Okay. So actually, I am live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook world. And I am in the Zoom room too. So we got it to work both ways tonight. That is super exciting. Super exciting. All right. So Maria, awesome. Maria was on here last night. Thank you for coming back again. And in the Zoom room, please type in all panelists and attendees so that everybody can see your comments. Let's see who else is here with me. Ray Lynn is with us again tonight as well. That is awesome. So let's see what time it is. Okay. And those of you that end up on Facebook, I'm going to see if I can check it out on here too. See if you comment any there. Awesome. Good. Well, this is great. I'm excited to be on both platforms. That is fantastic. And we had Debbie join us and Deborah. That's awesome. If you don't mind, you guys, type in to all panelists and attendees, whether you're new or if you are here for a refresh. And this webinar is all about food combining. So it is about keeping your focus simple in the beginning so that you have the best jump start and you have the best beginning that you can, but without so many options that you get confused. Because there are so many things that you can do in Shibboleth, and there's a lot of options in the middle of the grocery store and in the freezer and all of that. But right now, we're just trying to teach you the basics of the program. So this is a smaller list of foods for you to have a look at. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you. Y'all please get ready to type and let me know if you can see the screen that will be coming up in just a second. Please let me know if you can see the screen that shows the Fast Track Phase 1, Week 1. Can you guys see that? Okay, I can see that on my screen. So, okay, very good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I hope that you watched the video from last night because it was the program overview. If you did not watch that video from last night, please go back and watch that. It's very, very important. And you might hear things repeated over the course of this week, but that's okay because you need the information a couple of times to get it all down in your mind and your heart so you know what you're doing. I also want to give you the best possible start that you can in Shibboleth. So what we're going to do tonight is I've got a way that I do this class. I'm going to read over the items that show up in these columns because part of this program is figuring out which foods are considered lean proteins, which foods are considered fibrous carbs, which foods are considered energy carbs, and so forth. So I'm going to read over some of these just so that you can start to become familiar and hear which ones are in these categories. As I get to another row, I won't repeat the categories I've already read. I'll just read the ones that have new columns in there, okay? And I'm also going to talk about why you would put these foods together. So right here, we start off with a category 1. As you may know, hopefully you watched last night's video, there are 7 categories of food. There's 5 of those categories that we can eat by themselves. So basically, we just don't eat energy carbs or fruit by themselves. Fruit can be eaten by itself once you get into maintenance, but not in weight loss, okay? So you just have to treat fruit differently while you are in the goal of losing weight. So there's category 1 is a lean protein. You can have 2 up to 8 ounces of that. And some examples of that are egg whites, fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, 1 link of that, and 96% lean ground meat. So those are some choices for you right there that are in a lean protein category. And one of my big instructions for people to do is to make yourself your personal list of lean proteins that you like. Make your personal list of fibrous carbs that you like, and so forth. And so that you can then figure out which of those foods that you like, you can pair together for a yummy plate. Because on Shibboleth, you don't have to eat anything that you don't want to. Always focus on the things you can have, not the things you can't have. And nobody's going to tell you to eat things you don't like either, because there's so much on here you can't eat. So now you're going to see a plus sign with a flame behind it. This means that this is excellent for fat burning, excellent for fat burning. So the cooking oils that we would suggest that you might use are category 1. You'd use 1 tablespoon of it, MCT oil, 100% MCT oil. We honestly prefer that you use the Zero Drag brand from our store. It is, and that's what I use. If Travis uses it, I want to use it because he's done this research for 20 years. And if he says it's the best one, I just go with it. I don't want to have to do all that research. I'm just glad I get to benefit from the research that he's done. So I go with that one. If you don't want to buy that one for some reason from our store, he suggests that you buy the Now brand from Amazon. But it does need to be 100% MCT oil that has been maximized for cooking. The other choice you would be able to use is coconut oil, which is 60% MCTs, ghee, butter. Oftentimes people use that to get their butter flavor on something. Hemp oil would work, or PAM, or any zero-calorie cooking spray. I use PAM or zero-calorie cooking spray when I am cooking something that has fat in it, like a protein plus fat, but I use the MCT oil for other things. Then you've got your plus sign here, and then your flame. Basically, those plus signs are just telling you that you can put all this together on your plate. There's no addition, there's no math in Shibboleth. We just have these things combined on our plate. So let me read over a few condiments. We have any 0-calorie condiment, 15 calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, 15 calorie or less coffee creamers, salsa, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. So those are just some examples. Now, we have these examples here, but if you went into our food library and clicked on the condiments link, you would see tons of condiments listed. But guess what? Here's the rule for condiments. Because if you know the rule for condiments, you don't have to worry about whether or not you can find it in the food library. So this is our rule for condiments. Anything that you pick up can be used as a condiment as long as it has no more than 5 grams of sugar per serving, and it has no more than 2 grams of fat per serving. So you can remember that because the word sugar has 5 letters in it. So you just turn over a bottle, you look at the back of it, and you just go, okay, does that have more than 5 grams of sugar in it? Okay, it doesn't. Let me look at the fat. Does that have more than 2 grams of fat in it? No, it doesn't. Okay, well, that works. And with your calories, you just don't use more than 50 calories total on each meal. So you could have, if you wanted them, 50 calories of condiments at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I do tell people to be a little bit choosy on that, because if you're choosy, you can, if you're not choosy, excuse me, and you just do calories, 50 calories on every single meal, that's an extra 1,050 calories a week. So if you're just choosy about it, it helps you get to your 3,500 calorie deficit quicker. So if a piece of cheese is going to make a difference on my food, I might put that piece of cheese on there. But if it's something that I can't even taste the cheese at all, I won't put it on there because I don't really need it. It's not doing that meal any good. So you can eat a lean protein by itself. You can cook it up in the approved oil and put some condiments on it, and that would be an excellent fat burning meal. So as we scroll down, it just shows you that you could also do that same exact thing with shellfish. So category 7 is shellfish. And just to get in your mind, category 7 The shellfish is actually really just a category 1 lean protein. But due to biblical reasons and other medical reasons, some people don't want to eat shellfish. So therefore, it's just in its own category so that you can deal with it in the way that you find appropriate. So we have crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. Those are just a small list just to get you started. You can have up to 2 to 8 ounces of that. Then you've got your flame again with your plus sign. You're going to cook it in the oils that you choose. You got your little plus sign in your flame. You're going to use some condiments and you're going to make some excellent category 7 shellfish meal. So we're going to scroll up a little bit more here. And as I scroll up, we've got the same list here of lean proteins. So I'm not going to reread those. We've got the same list of the oils. We've got the same list of the condiments. But the column that changed in this row is this one right here, the hemp products. So you could do hemp hearts. Now hemp hearts are actually a category 6, but you can put a 1 and a 6 together and that would be excellent for fat burning. Hemp flakes are actually considered a category 1 and a 2. So you can put those together and that would be excellent for fat burning. And then your very sweet hemp flakes are also a category 1 and 2. And then you can also use the protein powder and the hemp oil. I don't know what category protein powder is. I'll have to look that up. But you can use any of those products with your category 1, and that would be an excellent fat burning meal. Anything with the plus and the flame is excellent for fat burning. Because I am going to get to a few that are good for fat burning, but not excellent. But they still won't take you out of the EFB, and I still ate them and lost weight. So now we're going to scroll down right here, and this row is just showing you that you can have a category 6 with the hemp heart or the hemp products that I just read off, cooked in the right oil with some condiments, and have a delicious meal. Now, as we scroll up right here, we are going to see that we have a new column here. We have the addition of a fibrous carb category. So some fibrous carbs are broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles. Now, obviously, that's just a short list. We've got a huge list in the food library. You can have half a cup up to a cup of your fibrous carbs. You still want to make sure that you are portion controlling. That's really, really important. You put your 2 hands together just like this, and you cover your food up. You place your hands down over your food and you cover them up. If you can't see food sticking all out around your hands, then you've portion controlled. You also don't want your hand to be any thick. You don't want your meal to be any thicker than the thickest part of your hand. Basically, that's just saying, just because you can't see your food, don't make it pile up like your Thanksgiving plate. And then, so a category 1, you've got great protein there. Category 2, you've got awesome fiber there. So there's nothing there that is going to bring an insulin release, because really this is about controlling insulin. There's also nothing here that's going to be stored as fat either. So that is excellent. And you utilize your preferred cooking oil, throw on some condiments, and you have an excellent fat burning meal. Excellent. And then we're going to scroll down just a little bit more, and here we go. This is a new row here, but I've already read all the columns. Basically, this is showing you can put together your category 7 shellfish with your category 2 fibrous carbs, cook it up in the right oil, and add some condiments. Now, I'm just going to stop right there for just a second. Does anybody see any food that they like, that they are willing to eat together as a combination? If you do, please type in either on Facebook or in the Zoom room. Please type in something that you see on here that you like, that you would eat together. I see some other people have joined me in the Zoom room. Welcome, Carolyn and I'm not sure if I said hello to Deb or Deborah earlier, but hello to you guys. And then good morning. Hey, Pat Tudor. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me tonight. Please let me know if you have any questions. So you guys want to type in? Okay. Awesome. Deborah said, yes, I do see a lot of food to eat. Now, Deborah, do you see some that you would like to eat together? Does any of this right now in our webinar, does any of this look hard? Because if it looks hard, I want to keep explaining. Okay, so I'm assuming it does not look hard, so I'm going to keep going. Oh, good, awesome. Deb typed in that this makes it look easy. Deborah typed in lots of food to eat together and it looks easier than I thought. Awesome, that is excellent. Yeah, I just tell everybody, you've got to come up with the foods that you like in each list, and then you just put them together according to the combination chart, and that is an excellent fat burning meal. So good, okay. Because this is really a personalized lifestyle. Nobody's going to hand you a diet. Now, we've got lots and lots of ways to come up with meals and food ideas, because sometimes people have a hard time of thinking of them, but we don't just hand you a meal and say, eat this. No, you get to figure out what you like. And that's exciting because most people like to eat what they like. Okay, we're going to scroll down a little bit more. Right here, we've got category 6, superfood. Pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans, peanut butter, nuts, and seeds. So basically all your nuts, your seeds, your nut butters, most of your darker colored beans, and a few of the lighter colored beans are in the superfood. That's also where avocado is. Wendy's chili is in the superfood, but not all chili, just Wendy's chili. There's other chilies, but out at restaurants, it's pretty much Wendy's chili because they have the right combination there. And this is showing you a plus sign, but you'll notice there's no flame behind it. And I'll talk about why that is in just a second. And then you could throw some condiments in, and I could eat a whole big old bowl of black beans all on my own with some Herba Mare seasoning. I love Herba Mare seasoning. So you can put that in right there. So let's say that, I'm going to explain why a superfood makes it into that category. So the reason that a food would make it into the superfood category is that it has all of the macronutrients in it. So it has water in it, it's got carbs in it, it's got protein in it, and it's got fat in it. So it has all the macronutrients in a superfood. So that's how it made it into that category. Based on that information, we do have to treat that one a little bit differently. At times, we don't eat protein plus fats with superfoods because the superfoods have a little bit more carbs in them, and we don't want to eat anything that is a little bit fattier with a protein plus fat. And I would also not add it to another carb that's going to bring an insulin release. So I would not eat that with a energy carb or a fruit because it's going to bring more of an insulin release, and we don't want that. Okay. But category 6 superfood by itself is great. It's got all the macronutrients in it, and it's delicious. But because it has a little bit of fat in it, just a little bit, that it's got the plus rather than the flame behind it. So it's good for fat burning, but those others are excellent for fat burning. Okay, we're going to scroll down, and this is just showing you that you can put your category 6 with your category 2. So you can put your superfood with your fibrous carbs. You can have beans and greens if you wanted them. You can have, this not on the list yet, but we've got 60, well, I think about 60 approved bread or bread type items in the category 2 fibrous carb column. You could make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right there. That peanut butter would be your superfood. The bread would be the fibrous carb, the right bread, okay? Make sure it's the right bread. And your jelly, just use the sugar-free jelly and no more than 50 calories of it, and there's your condiment. And you have a good fat-burning meal, a good fat-burning meal. Now, your less bread is best. So if you like to eat bread, I might keep that to one meal a day rather than eating it all 3. for the best results. We're going to scroll up a little bit more. And this one, I'm going to read over the protein plus fat, the category 4. If you'll notice, it says 2 to 6 ounces. The lean protein was, in shellfish, was 2 to 8 ounces. So you have a little bit fewer ounces right there because there's more calories in fat. So we just want to have a little bit less ounces right there because you're getting some more calories in that than your lean protein or your shellfish. So some examples of protein plus fat are whole eggs, all cuts of steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, turkey spam, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat, and turkey kielbasa as long as no more than 50% of the calories come from fat. So you could put together a category 4 with a category 2, put some condiments on there, and you have a good fat burning meal. Now I'm going to tell you right now what you do not pair your category 4 with. You don't put your category 4 with anything that's going to bring an insulin release or even just a little bit of an insulin release, all right? You just don't pair it with that. So you're not going to put a category 4 protein plus fat with a category 3 energy carb. You're not going to put it with a category 5 fruit, and you're not going to put it with your category 6 superfood. So let's talk about right now, if you didn't watch the video last night, and it doesn't hurt to hear this again, the reason that you don't pair together anything that's going to bring an insulin release with something that's got fat in it is because insulin is a hormone. It is a growth hormone, and the specific type of growth hormone that it is, it's a fat storage hormone. Who needs a fat storage hormone? But anyway, we got one, so we have to deal with it. We have to know what to do with it and go from there. So the fat storage hormone, its job is to go around and pick up any fat lipids that are in your body. We call insulin the fat bus because its job is to go and pick up fat lipids and take them to their destination. So if you've eaten a steak at a restaurant or even at home, you've eaten a steak and there's going to be some fat lipids floating around in your body. But guess what? That's no big deal. That's really no big deal because those would just get burned up. Those are just an easy source of energy. You can burn those up. What the problem is if you pair it with an energy carb, let's just say baked potato, because that's a classic plate. You pair that with your baked potato. The baked potato brings a large insulin release, especially since most of the time when people are eating those two together, the baked potato isn't even reasonably sized, it's huge. And so you have a large insulin release. Well, this insulin goes to doing its job. So it starts doing its job. It's going to go around and pick up those fat lipids that you ate from the steak. And over the next 48 hours, any other fat that's in your body, insulin is going to be storing that because that's what it's supposed to do. Now we know that, we just control what we put together into our body so that our body responds properly and we can access stored fat, which is our goal. So think about this. You've eaten the steak, but instead of putting the steak with a potato, you chose to put it with broccoli. There's no insulin release coming from eating broccoli. So you eat your broccoli and you ate your protein plus fat, but there was nothing for your body. Your body didn't have any insulin release to go around and pick up the protein plus fat. So the fat's going to get burned off and the fiber is going to be in there to help with that meal. But does that make sense? Y'all tell me if that makes sense, because when I heard that, I thought, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I did not know this before now. I can't believe it. Y'all tell me if that makes sense to you. And tell me if that's a wow moment. Please tell me if that's a wow moment for you. It was for me. And I just want to know if it is for you too. Then we're going to look at this Combination. Yes, yes, Deb, definitely. I mean, that is just amazing to know how food responds in your body and to be able to now make a great decision. Now you know this, you can make a great decision. Yes, Pat, it's definitely, definitely a wow moment. Okay, we're going to look at this next row right here. This next row, we've already read over the category 1 lean proteins. We've already read over the category 2 fibrous carbs, and we've already read over the condiments. The new items, yes, Deborah, it is unbelievable. So right here, this is the only column that has changed in this row. And you'll also notice right here, did we have any cooking oils listed? Do we have any cooking oils listed in this row right here? Y'all tell me if you see any cooking oils there. There's no cooking oils listed there because cooking oils are usually a little bit of fat. Now, if you needed to cook something right here, you could cook it in, like I say, a zero calorie spray or something like that, because this energy carb right here makes that difference. Okay, so let's read over some of these. All of your potatoes are included here. Oatmeal, your steel cut oats, weight control oatmeal, long grain brown rice, quinoa, lima beans, peas, tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat pasta, whole grain pasta. So these are all energy carbs, okay? You can have a quarter cup up to half a cup. Honestly, in weight loss, I would keep it to about quarter of a cup. Half a cup's more of a maintenance amount. Okay, so let's say that you want to eat some potato. Let's just say, you know what? I'm having a craving for a potato. How am I going to eat this on Shibboleth? What you do is you just make sure that you pair your quarter cup of potato with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. If you are going to eat a category 3 and you would like to have a perfect day, it must be paired with a lean protein and a category 2 fibrous carb. So that's a must and an and. It must be both of the categories. Now, what is happening is, and I think this is going to be a wow moment too. What's happening is this energy carb right here, this category 3, now we're not overeating the amount. So keep in mind that because you're not overeating the amount, then you're not going to have as large of an insulin release, but it's going to be a little bit of an insulin release from that category 3. But what's happening is you're allowing the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carb to neutralize the insulin release that is coming from the category 3. So, I mean, you're letting food be your medicine, which is great. I love that. I love that. So, and if you'll notice, this is a good fat burning meal. So it's not the excellent fat burning like those ones we did at the top, but this is a good fat burning meal. And again, you just need to figure out what the foods are that you like to eat together and just pair them together. So as we scroll on down, we have another good fat burning meal. The change in this one is this category 5 fruit. So we've got berries and apples and oranges and grapefruit and plums, grapes, bananas, peaches, pineapple, kiwi, actually all fruit. We could have just written the words all fruit right there. Now, fruit varies in its amount of natural sugars. Berries are going to be your best, and then apples would be up there with those. But you got like peaches, pineapple, anyway, there's another one. They're like high in sugar. Those might be the ones that that you try to stay away from in the beginning. Now, fruit, people sometimes get a little, they're like, I love fruit. Well, that's awesome. And we encourage you to eat fruit because fruit is an antioxidant and antioxidants are good for you. But we do have to treat fruit a little differently while we are in weight loss. You're trying to reach a goal. It is worth it to change things up a little bit in your achievement of that goal. Once you get into maintenance, you can have fruit as a snack by itself if you would like. But in weight loss, you don't want to do that because you need to have the lean protein and the fibrous carb help neutralize the insulin release that's coming from the fruit. Have you ever seen people's posts on Facebook? They're like, I'm eating healthy. And actually, I see this from some of my friends who are on Weight Watchers, and I look at their plate and I go, oh, dang it. I'm sorry. You're trying really hard, but that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But they're saying they're eating healthy and they've got all this fruit on their plate. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I mean, fruit's good for you. It's got antioxidants in there, but if you're trying to lose weight, that is not going to help you. So you do have to treat it differently in weight loss. So that is a good fat burning meal. So just remember, if you want to eat a category 5 fruit, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Oh, watermelon and cantaloupe are also on the list, totally fine. They do bring a little bit more of an insulin release than the berries and the apples. But if you're going to eat watermelon or cantaloupe, again, I would do about 1/4 cup. You're still not wanting to overdo it, but you could still get the flavor and the taste in of that. But you do need to pair it with these two. But basically, Pat, all fruit is in that category. There's probably a list on the internet somewhere of like the ranges of sugars in fruit. I might have to look that up. Okay, so we're going to go beyond combining food and look at a few other things that are going to make doing this lifestyle easy. So have a look right here. Category 2 breads. Absolutely amazing because we do not exclude any macronutrients. None. And any program that excludes an entire macronutrient is not a sustainable program. Most people are just not willing to give that up for the rest of their life, okay? So we have breads, but we have breads that work. The breads that we have picked for the food library are breads that have enough fiber and protein in them to react more like a green bean in your body than just a regular old bread, okay? So some choices of that would be La Tortilla Factory 50-calorie tortilla, Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla, Healthy Life Bread, Nature's Own Double Fiber Wheat Bread, Brand Crisp Bread, Healthy Life Hot Dog Buns, and the Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. So, I mean, that's a treat. This program is not hard to do because this morning I had an egg sandwich. It was delicious. I fried up 2 eggs in 0-calorie cooking spray. I put a slice of cheese on there. I toasted my bread, put a little spray of I can't believe it's not butter on there, and it was an excellent egg sandwich. And it was fat burning. Because the eggs, which I ate whole eggs, they were category 4. The bread that I chose to use was Sara Lee 45-calorie delightful. I like the multi-grain flavor. And so I had that. And I had that, hold on. Oops, sorry. And then I had a condiment, which was my cheese. And then the 0-calorie cooking spray, I mean, not the I can't believe it's not butter spray, it's 0-calorie. So that was a 4 plus a 2 plus a condiment. So that was excellent. But still, you'll notice it says less is best on the bread. Your better options are up here. But we do have breads, they are allowed. So guess what I would never do again if I were y'all? I would never, ever, ever buy another category 3 bread. There are so many good category 2 breads. We have, there's loaf bread, there's tortillas, there's pita breads, there's lavish breads, there's wraps. What else? I feel like I'm missing one, but anyway, y'all get my point. And then we have approved sweeteners, stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol. My favorite is xylitol. A lot of people say monk fruit tastes a lot more like real sugar. Splenda, of course, is an artificial sweetener, and stevia is a natural one. Now, I always like to answer the question about artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are just a product, okay? It's a product, but you may decide you have learned some previous knowledge, you have previous knowledge from learning other things, and you may decide, I don't want to do artificial sweeteners. Well, guess what? You don't have to. Choose one of the other ones. But somebody else who might not might not mind doing an artificial sweetener, then they can do that, okay? So this program meets absolutely everybody where they are and what they are able to do and willing to do. We just have to give you all your resources, and then you figure all those little parts out for yourself. So we have approved beverages, obviously your water, because you need to get in at least 64 ounces of water to be able to say that that was checked on your perfect day. But your goal is a gallon. And I'm going to tell you, if you are working towards getting that gallon in, you are not going to be nearly as hungry. Your mind and your body will be satisfied with that water. Water also helps metabolize fat and flush out toxins. A dehydrated body does not give up fat or waste very efficiently. So you'll want to make sure that you are drinking your water. 0 calorie beverages of any type are okay. Unsweet or approved tea. And coffee's fine, but only with approved sweeteners. And we ask that you not use more than 15 calories of a sweetener in your coffee. There is an entire link about coffee creamers in the food library. And if you are willing to switch over and try this stuff called Bio Coffee, it is the world's only alkaline coffee, and it is full of antioxidants, and it's got a little natural creamer in it too. It's decaffeinated, but people go nuts over that Bio Coffee. And then let's look at some cheese choices. You can use up to 50 calories of condiments on a meal. You could use fat-free feta cheese, Kraft fat-free cheese, Borden fat-free cheese, Cabot extra light cheese, Laura Lynn fat-free cheese, Kroger brand fat-free cheese, Lifetime fat-free cheese. Lifetime is actually bought online. I don't think I've seen it out in any stores anywhere. But my 2 favorite cheeses from this list are the Borden fat-free cheese, the singles. They taste great. I don't know what they've done to them, but they taste much better than some other fat-free singles. And I really enjoy this Cabot extra light cheese. It's a block cheese. So if you're looking for like a block cheese, that's what I would choose. Some milks that you'll want to use, you can utilize 8 up to 16 ounces. Fat-free Fairlife milk, Kroger Carb Master milk, hemp milk. Now here's the thing. You might be saying, well, why can't I use a skim milk? It doesn't have any much fat in it. It also doesn't have the protein that you need, and you need the protein. So these milks have been made with extra protein in them, so that's why they work. Sometimes if you're having, let's say you're having an approved cereal, that's a little bit starchy. Cereal typically is, so you want to make sure you have enough protein in the milk that you use to work with a little bit of a starchy cereal. So that's why you'd want to make sure you utilize one of these milks. If you're having it as a component of a meal, use up to 8 ounces. But if you're just drinking that as its meal itself, you could do 16 ounces. You know what I find that I do? I buy the Kroger Carb Master milk, and it's considered a category 1 lean protein. But let's say after a meal, I just want just a little taste of something chocolatey or sweet. I'll maybe do like 2 ounces in a little glass. You know, the little orange juice glass that my grandmother used to have at her house. I'll just pour a little bit in there, and I'll just take a little sip of that. It's a lean protein, and it really doesn't hurt. But you could also utilize that as a condiment if you hadn't used a condiment on your meal. Then we've got breadings and flours. So we would suggest that you lightly bread things. You could use coconut flour, Carb Quick flour, Bob's TVP, or almond flour. And I like this because you could take some okra and put some Carb Quick on it and some MCT oil, and you could have fried okra. Just cook it up in that air fryer. Some cereals that you could use in the beginning. There's a lot of cereals on the plan, but right now we're doing the ones that are best for getting you started. The Kashi Go Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal, High-Low Nutritious Living. You could do 1 cup up to 1.5 cups. There's some other condiments listed there, but I'm not going to read over those. Now let's scroll back down and let's look at some restaurants, because not only do we have great food for you to eat at home, we've got recipes. Really play around in that recipe library, you guys. That recipe library is really great. One of the recipes that I made at the beginning was the fat-burning chicken enchiladas. They're good. They're really good. But let's have a look at these restaurants. Knowing the restaurants that you like to eat at, look them up find what it is that you can order from that restaurant and know what you're going to order ahead of time. That makes things really easy. So you want to try to keep your calories to around 300 to 500 calories there. Chick-fil-A, you can eat 8 to 12 grilled nuggets. You could have, if you're willing to give up 4 of those nuggets to get 8 fried nuggets, you could do that. Instead of ordering fries, order it with a side salad. You can also order, I just go in there and order a number 1, which is their fried sandwich. I say, I want a number 1 instead of fries. I want a side salad. I want the light Italian dressing, and I would like a diet lemonade as my drink, no ice. That's my order. And I eat at Chick-fil-A an unreasonable amount of times, both in weight loss and in maintenance. I eat at Chick-fil-A way too much. And the reason I order that diet lemonade without any ice is because I get more of it in my cup, because their diet lemonade is not 0 calorie. So because it's not 0 calorie, it's got 50 calories in it. It's considered an extra. So remember, we can have 1 extra in a day. So on those days I go to Chick-fil-A and I order diet lemonade, that is my extra for that particular day. I also don't drown my salad in my dressing. I just drizzle it on there. So a lot of people like to eat at Mexican restaurants. I gave up Mexican restaurants even before Shibboleth because I never did feel good after I ate there. So I've already given that up. But you could eat a bowl of chicken soup, no rice, 3 soft chicken tacos, but use your own tortilla. And there are other things that you can order in them. I'm just kind of doing some simple ones here. If you went to McDonald's, you could order a 1/4 pounder, but just eat it on your own bread. Wendy's, this is a very popular order, a small chili over side salad. People go nuts over that. And I'm not going to read that whole list there because you can have a look at it, but you really want to make sure that you've played around in the restaurant guide and gone to the restaurants that you eat at the most often and look at what you order. You also want to make sure that you open up that order and you read how to order it, because that is really, really important. While I am on here, I would like to know if you guys have any questions about any of this, or if there's anything on the website that you want me to show. I can share my screen and show it with you. But I hope that, and you can go ahead and type that in, but I hope that you are gonna really focus in this week on the fast track, and that you did the post from this morning, because then there's gonna be a post for tomorrow morning, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I try to break it down in small little increments to help you learn the program. But I really, really want you to focus in, because it's the information that you're going to need for the rest of your life. So there's no reason not to focus in on it, okay? You guys have any questions about anything on the website that I can show you, because I love it. Okay, Deb is asking if there's a download of this. I am going to put this link in the Fast Track group and in the Second Chance group on Facebook. Are you guys on Facebook? Deb, are you on Facebook? Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you guys will have this webinar, and this link will be in there. Awesome. Okay. Well, are you guys in the new member Fast Track group or in the Second Chance group? You don't actually need to be in both of those groups. They're exactly the same, depending on if a person was new or if they were wanting a refresh. Okay, good. Deborah's in there. That's awesome. If y'all are not in the new member Fast Track, yes, please join that group. Good. And just pay attention this week, because it's important. Yeah, Deb, go in there and just do Shibboleth new member Fast Track, and I'll let you in. But I am going to show y'all something real quick. We're going to go here. We're going to go to the website. If y'all can't tell, I get real excited about this program. I mean, basically, it's changed my life, so I'm thrilled. When something changes your life, you get excited about it. So we're going to look right here at this resources, foods, and recipes. If you come down here, this is where your food library is. When you click on that, You've got all of these choices here. If you're looking at this on your phone, you only see it listed like this, okay? But what I did was I went through absolutely every category. I read everything in there. Yeah, it took some time, but I did. And I hearted the foods that I liked. And that's going to be a video later in the week, so I'm not going to really get into that right now. But I hearted all the foods that I like. So watch what happens. When I click on my journal, all the foods that I liked, when I click on favorite food right there, it'll generate all the foods. That's all my personal foods that I like. So you can take that big giant food library and pare it down to just your own personal food library. This website is absolutely amazing. If you're new, you kind of have a limited food library right now, but that's kind of important. You just want to do simple the first 7 to 10 days. But I'm going to click back right there real quick, and I am going to show, look at, there's the recipe library. You click on recipes. Right here, there's the different types, if you want to go by type, or if you just want to kind of scroll through and see each one listed out with the recipe that's in there, you can do that. There's so many great recipes. So let's say I want to make some sausage balls. If I want to make some sausage balls, I just go right there, I read the ingredients and make them. And then we're going to go back here and I'm going to show you restaurant. So when you click on the restaurant right there, let's say you want to go to Applebee's and you want to order their grilled chicken breast. Let me see what it says there. Let's look at this blackened shrimp Caesar salad. Let's look at that. So right here, it says order it without the croutons and Caesar dressing, use your own approved dressing, and limit condiments to 50 calories. You may have half of the shrimp and half of the salad. Save half of this meal for another time. So that's how that you would order that and utilize that right there. But I would just go ahead and be prepared for ordering that. I do keep the Fast Track group in the Second Chance group pretty cleaned out of posts that were from previous weeks, but anything that I've left in there, I find it to be important. So what I would do if I were new and in one of those groups, I would scroll all the way to the bottom where it says so-and-so created this group. And then I would just work my way back up and make sure I didn't miss anything. Because I got a lot of good stuff in there that'll be helpful. A lot of meal plans are in there. What I ate for my first 20 days is in there. And please don't think it's some magical meal plan because I probably ate 30 Mighty Muffins in the first 20 days. Just trying to figure this thing out. But I lost 12.5 pounds in that time frame too. So I don't see any other questions right now, but let me know if you have any questions and reach out to our team. We are here for you. We love you. We want to see you succeed and reach your goals. And I will see y'all in the funny papers.